We just wrapped the world's first AI sketch comedy competition sponsored by Epidemic Sound. We had hundreds of submissions from all around the world, ranging from hilarious to, let's just say, not hilarious. The winner of this competition will receive a $6,000 cash prize along with a macaroni and cheese scented candle, so the stakes are pretty darn high. So before we get going, let's meet our judges.
Hi everyone, my name is Ike Way. I'm the Director of Operations at Curious Refuge. Super excited to be here and really excited to see how the AI community takes on the comedy challenge.
Yeah, hey, Walter Newman was a development executive at Comedy Central, and then I ran development at Adult Swim for a little over 10 years. I'm producing now and excited to get involved in it.
Hey, I'm Eric Towner. I'm one of the co-founders of Stupid Buddy Studios. We're responsible for a bunch of debaucherous animated content, including Robot Chicken.
Hi, I'm Joel Kuwahara, co-founder of Bento Box Entertainment. We're an animation studio, mostly a 2D animation studio, best known for the show Bob's Burgers.
Hey, I'm Tyler Mitchell, super excited to be here. I'm a producer and executive formerly of Imagine Entertainment for many years and can't wait to see what comedy we've got in store today.
In these AI comedy sketch videos, I personally love absurdity. So I'm looking for the most outrageous idea that's well executed and can't wait to see it.
For me, I guess it's something that's going to surprise me, something that's going to make me feel like I want to talk about it after I see it, even if it is very short.
Same for me. It's like something unexpected. If I can't see where the story or where the joke is going, but there's a nice surprise. But also this being an AI competition, if there's nothing that's going to take me out of just enjoying it, you know, and sometimes those distractions are actually additive, but sometimes you can tell they aren't as too. And so they kind of take you out of it. But I think overall, it's just kind of fun to see what people are, or how people are using the tool to do comedy.
A successful comedy sketch or short starts with a good idea, like what's a great hook in. And then, you know, I think the last will come where you don't expect them, where you don't see it coming. So, you know, stories that can twist or turn things on their side. I'm always a fan of that kind of stuff.
A successful comedy short for me, first of all, starts with the idea. It's got to be something outlandish or that like really hooks you in. But with AI especially, the thing that I was zeroing in on was the performances, and to see like the comedic timing of the Gen AI actors. I feel like that's so hard to get right. Like if something can actually get me to laugh, like from a dialogue performance, I think that's really successful.
And before we start watching the finalists, we wanted to take some time to honor the submissions that didn't exactly make the cut. Now that the setup is out of the way, let's take a look at our very first film. Please enjoy Yeehaw PD by Nate Diaz.
I've been on the Yeehaw PD around about 15 years now. Great little town. You got your occasional speeders, cow tippers, meth labs, just like any big city, I suppose. It's beautiful out here, though. I mean, look at that. That's God's country right there.
All available units. Possible 1049 near the bridge southeast. Over.
1049, that's street racing. Now, most of the time, it ain't nothing but kids joyriding or doing donuts over at the Krispy Kreme.
All right. Yep, I see them. 10-4.
Make sure you're rolling on this.
He's running.
We got a runner.
10-4. All available officers, we have a 1043 in progress.
Watch this. Works about half the time. People out here are pretty dumb.
Yeehaw PD! Pull over! Stop the vehicle!
See you later, nerd! Woo! Too damn easy! Let's go! Dispatch, chalk another win up for Sergeant Whipple.
Copy that, hell yeah, Whipple.
I'm 5-2 this month. Would have been 7-0 if I hadn't got stuck behind that damn school bus.
I guess I'm a fan of the original Cops and that kind of format. So there's something to reference it to, in terms of like how the visuals and everything. And I was surprised, it had that right look and feel. So for me, very quickly, I kind of just got into it. I thought the jokes landed. I thought the visuals were funny, and the let's go at the end, I thought was like a fun little button, especially that's what everybody's doing. And I thought it was just very topical. And for me, it was pretty on point. It was a fun one for me. And I thought the performance, I was actually surprised at how good the performance was, the facial performance and the continuity. All the shots. So that was a fun one.
Yeah, this one was one of my favorites. Really simple concept with the Cops vibe, like feeling very familiar. But from the accent to the performance to like the deadpan delivery of like, that's God's country there. It felt really real and brought me into it. And then the street racing element of it was obviously super, super fun. I was just engaged and with it the whole time. Nothing really took me out of it. And again, for me, it was like this performance really drew me in and was one of my favorites.
Yeah, for me, I thought this one was solid. I actually particularly liked they had a little shot of like the mic coming into the screen. I thought that was a nice touch. And I actually wish there were more kind of idiosyncrasies to the cop. Like I did think it looks good, but I found the cop not to be, I wanted him to be a little more remarkable than he was. But what I really loved is that final shot of the car burning out in front of the vape store. Like that was actually my favorite part. But I thought this one was solid. Like, yeah, I rated it pretty good.
Yeah, same here. I appreciated like right off the bat some of the details. Like it's beautiful here. It's God's country, and there's like a nuclear power plant in the back. Was a great detail. I don't know if it was an intentional joke or not, but doing donuts at the Krispy Kreme where you buy donuts, that made me laugh for some stupid reason. And overall, yeah, I appreciated the character they were able to build. That mustache was pretty iconic. Yeah, overall, again, just like taking that format you're familiar with of Cops and like turning on its side felt like a great idea, great concept. So I was a fan of this one too.
Definitely love the style. It felt very inspired by Cops meets Reno 911 meets Super Troopers. And I appreciated the micro edits, the lower thirds, getting on the speakers, the audio editing. I thought that was all really done well, kind of recreated the TV feel. Overall, great job. And I love the "See you later, nerds" line.
Next up, we have Goatsbeard Fluffy by Kevin Bertizan.
So apparently they're making a new one. I smell a cash grab.
With new modern CGI, that'd be quite entertaining.
I read that Vigo's coming back and Gollum's directing it.
I never believed him as Aragorn.
More believable than a cave troll.
Now, Sean Bean, that's a leader.
You see that part in Interstellar when they start talking about the Council of
Elrond, Elw's peeved.
Can we take a moment to be impressed with the fact that you're reading?
They're calling this one The Hunt for Gollum. That's probably what they got him directing it.
You know that there's an actor.
What?
I would love to see what happened to Lord Sauron.
We agreed, no politics.
On weekends. Today's Thursday.
You know, I do like Vigo's photography.
That guy broke his tooth.
His photos can be difficult.
At Helm's Deep. Hold on, that was his toe.
So I don't think you mind when orcs are being killed.
They're made in a laboratory.
Conspiracy theories.
You saw them do it.
It was in the first one with the mud and the saran wrap on it.
That guy became a receptionist.
You don't want to sit down.
I am sitting.
How's that?
I rest my trunk on my haunches and then stiffen.
Stiffen? Like your magic stick?
Do you really want him to continue?
I thought this was a really fun behind-the-scenes concept. I think one of its strengths was also its weakness in that I love the personality and the gruff in the voice. However, some of the lines I couldn't quite understand, and I think that kind of took me out of it. And one last little nitpick is I think some of the backgrounds were a little bit static. I think there was a lot of movement in the foreground with the characters, but I would have loved to see a little bit more diverse shots.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny. Same issue. I thought clarity, just to understand some of the dialogue. But, watching it again, I was able to make it out. And it was fun. I thought, especially with it being AI and, going back to the exact same setup and shots, they executed it really well. I thought it was all there. Just, at that point, it's just subjective in terms of like, is that your kind of cup of tea for humor? Like, are you in line with those jokes? Like, how much do you like those jokes? But I think that's a good problem because you aren't distracted so much by any of the visuals. Like, I feel like you get sucked into that world very quickly. And then the performances, I thought, for the type of dialogue that they're delivering, it didn't require a lot of extra like movement. So I kind of felt like they worked within the restrictions, like of what at the limitations of what they could do, but I thought they did a really nice job.
Yeah, first of all, I think it's amazing that even just 6 months ago, I would have never thought that something like this was even possible. So I think they did a really great job. And what I loved about it, and I definitely liked it more each time I watch it, is that it just brings you right into this slice of life conversation between these, wild characters having this very, very inside conversation about film and really, really detailed and nuanced. And I thought the dialogue was actually very cleverly written and the characters were well drawn. And you just kind of believe that these were three friends, hanging out, bickering over their favorite film. So I thought it was really successful in that way.
Yeah, I thought the characters actually looked good. I was impressed by just the overall look of them. I wish the dialogue kind of took me somewhere, like, well, a bit more of a beginning, middle, and end, or maybe the jokes hit a little harder. But like a couple of people said, I think maybe I might not fully have understood everything that was being said. So maybe they did and I missed it. But I thought it was cool overall. I just wish it kind of went to another place, story-wise.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job, capturing this very slice of life, mundane conversation with these kind of absurd, over-the-top characters in this ridiculous environment. I also had a little bit of a hard time hearing some of the dialogue. I think the audio was a little bit rough for me. As amazing as some of the performances were, there was something that gave me a little bit Uncanny Valley vibes. I'm not sure exactly even how to describe that, other than I felt like I was noticing the AI-ness of some of the shots, but it wasn't entirely consistent. But overall, I'd say it's super successful. Again, just creating this really slice of life moment with these absurd characters.
Next up is Oregon Trail Influencers by Sam Juice.
It's the year 1848. We just sold the farm, buried Nana, and loaded up the fam and our lives into a homemade wooden box with wheels. Oregon or bust. Hey, Trail fam. Quick update. We've reached the Kansas River, and it is massive. Drop a comment. Should we ford it or caulk the wagon and float? Minor setback. We lost 2 oxen and all our spare wagon wheels. Also, my mother-in-law didn't make it.
Hey, guys. Sorry for the lack of content lately. Been dealing with some pretty severe dysentery, but he wanted me to keep the channel going.
Today we're showing you how to treat a snake bite. All you need is a hatchet, a belt, and the courage to scream for 3 straight hours. Let's get into it.
Quick life update. Ezekiel has cholera. Doctors are saying it's pretty bad, but we're manifesting positive energy.
Anyway, we've made it to Fort Laramie. The vibes here are immaculate. Also, we've decided to leave Ezekiel behind because he was really...
What's up, Trail Nation? Today we're doing the hunting challenge. I can only carry 100 pounds back to the wagon, but watch me shoot 10,000 pounds of buffalo meat. Martha, hold the camera.
What's up, Trail Army? Martha here with a major life update. The entire wagon train has dysentery, and we're basically living in our own filth.
Hey, Trail fam. Little update. We are definitely off trail. Haven't eaten in 4 days, but the snow tastes like hope.
So the whole family has typhoid, and Jared broke his leg, but we're... Never mind. Jared just died.
Final update. We made it to Oregon. Actually, it's just me. The fam didn't survive for the finale. Like and subscribe for more survival tips.
Really like this one. It's clearly hits the nostalgic feels for 80s and 90s kids that played Oregon Trail. Thought the writing was funny. Buried Nana, it's Oregon or bust. Everyone's dying of dysentery. I think if I could be a little bit nitpicky, there were a couple of the same jokes, I think twice with the dysentery. And then I think some of the character consistency, I wasn't sure if I was following an almost entirely new characters each shot or if a couple of them were the same. So I'd say that's it. But overall, very funny. Really like this one.
I'm a sucker for these. This style of influencer AI historic pieces have been coming out. I love them all because I think they're really funny. It's just fun. And I love all these shots, where they're taking the stories each time. Yeah, I mean, it was really funny. It made me laugh. I enjoyed the whole thing from beginning to end.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed this one. It might have been also being a kid of the 80s, 90s, brought me playing Oregon Trail in 3rd or 4th grade on Apple II computer. So it was fun to have those nostalgic feels. I thought overall really successful. There were some great jokes in there, some great lines, the snow tastes like hope, you laugh. And if I was going to be nitpicky about anything, I thought more could be done with the sound design on it. When they're by the river, the raging river, I'd love to hear that more. So it's, almost the dialogue was almost too clear at times where it felt if this had that natural feel, you'd bring more of that that like just background chatter and sound effect to the front.
I thought this one was really successful also. First of all, the shot composition, a lot of them like were really big shots with like the buffalo in the background, like had a nice diversity of different scenes from like inside the tent to wide shots to, you know, being by the river. I loved how chipper all the influencers always were, you know, a lot of great lines. You know, my mother-in-law didn't make it was one of my favorites. I think this is a genre that I've seen a lot of like on Instagram and on social. So I feel like the bar is pretty high, but it was definitely successful for what it was setting out to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think the style is great. I have seen a bit of it online, but it still kind of works because it's so modern, and mixing that with like the old times, I think worked really well. I do think it kind of set in similar jokes, maybe a little too long. My favorite part was when the guys like Martha hold the camera, like when it started to feel less unscripted, because the whole thing kind of sits in the same unscripted level, but that was like the most unscripted part to me. And I was hoping for a few more moments like that, but it looks great. Like Travis, I love the wide shots and what they were doing in the background and everything.
Now let's change things up with Spinners by Simon Friedberg.
Mission control, we are losing oxygen. Repeat, losing oxygen.
Repeat, losing oxygen.
Using oxygen, roger that. Working hard, boys? We are spinning.
Spin class, nice. Exercise is key in 0G. Let's send some tracks into orbit. Sorry.
Here we go.
We are spinning out of control!
Focus on your breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth.
When you do a lateral raise, no need to lift your elbows above your shoulders.
Don't forget to hydrate and refuel.
We don't have any fuel!
They're really getting into it.
We are burning up!
Yeah, push through the burn.
Shooting star!
Okay, boys, time to rehydrate.
I thought this one was great. I'm a sucker for deadpan humor and just, you know, a misunderstanding, you know, like verbally, I think can be like really hilarious. And I was so impressed with how deadpan all of the AIs were delivering the jokes. Made me laugh out loud like several times. And again, just in terms of a concept, like really, really fresh, having people from a mission control talk to a spaceship and have a completely funny misunderstanding as they're like crash landing, I thought was really well executed.
Yeah, look, I was really blown away by particularly the first guy in mission control and the way he was delivering his lines. I'm like, this guy's just a great actor, a great AI actor. It's like I put him in other pieces too. So I thought it was fun. Some of the other guys didn't come off to me as well, but overall, I thought it was a clever piece.
I enjoyed the concept too. I wasn't sure where it was going, but then, at the very beginning, and then very quickly you start to get the joke. It did feel like it could have used maybe a little more editing, in the sense I felt like it went on a little too long. And some of the shots, I think, just did it's more disservice than helping it. I think I probably would have just trimmed it a little bit more. But overall, I thought it was a fun piece.
I like the concept. It's classic miscommunication bit. It reminds me of an old English learning ad that I absolutely love. Very funny. It probably could have been cut down a third to make all the other jokes really stand out. And I think some of the fidelity in some of the scenes, it was really strong up front. And some of them towards the end, not as much polish. But overall, very funny. Great job.
The concept is strong and funny. Love the miscommunication of it. I think with a lot of sketch comedy, editing is your best friend. So this felt like once you got the joke, it could have been tightened quite a bit. Maybe cut out some of the things that were a little bit less consistent, just in terms of, what's the style of filmmaking? How do we make that feel a little bit more consistent throughout? But fun piece and really great moments.
Our next submission is The Greatest Trick in the World by Hal Watmo and Joseph Griffiths.
Morning! Are you the circus master?
Ringmaster.
I've got a trick for you. The greatest trick in the whole world. I can take any pain.
Go on.
Hit me in the face with that shovel as hard as you can.
What?
Seriously.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Well, if you're absolutely sure. got a textbook case of shovel-induced coma.
What kind of a man hits a defenseless teen in the head with a shovel?
He said it was the greatest trick in the world.
Shovels are for digging, not for faces.
What have I done?
Excuse me, sir, did you hit this man in the face with a shovel and put him in a coma?
Yes.
And was it, like tap or...
No. I did it as hard as I could.
I sentence you to 10 years in prison for hitting a man in the face with a shovel.
Nigel, the circus is bankrupt and I'm taking the kids.
Don't leave me!
Oh my God, he's waking up. I don't believe it. Doctor, it's a miracle. Are you okay?
Ta-da!
I was excited because this one was kind of like the first animation kind of one. And then it got a little creepy for me with those real teeth very quickly. So I couldn't get over the teeth, man. It was just like getting a little too weird and creepy looking. And then like the joke, I kind of just felt like the joke, you kind of saw that where it was coming. So I was kind of like waiting. I was like waiting for that punchline to kind of come. I'd like that they tried a different approach, visually, but at the same time, I couldn't help the real teeth creep factor. It was too distracting for me. Couldn't help it.
I was ahead of the joke on this one pretty much the whole time. Like as soon as he hit him and went into the hospital and started to see his life falling apart, I didn't find any of those scenes leading up to things like particularly funny. It was just, kind of felt bad for the puppet actually, rather than laughing out loud. And I knew in the end that he was going to wake up and not recall like any of it happening. So I just felt like I was ahead of it a little bit and appreciated the style, appreciated the puppets. I thought the fidelity on them like looked really great, but just from a conceptual standpoint, didn't grab me.
See, it's funny. It starting out with the puppets to me just opened me up to be kind of probably more receptive to whatever silly thing was going to happen. So I really like that of it. And I actually thought this was one of the more complete stories. I'm almost mad at myself because I think like both of you have mentioned, like the Indian was obviously coming, but I was so into the story. I thought they did such a good job pacing wise that I forgot about it. And when it came, I was like, oh, I knew that was going to happen, but I completely forgot because I was into the story. So I like this one.
I really like the Muppet style with PG-13 British humor. I thought the editing was really good. In the background, there was a crescendo of music that was just pushing me along the whole time. And I thought the characters were extremely expressive. So really love that. One other nitpick, I would say some of the shots, it almost looked like the puppets had a green screen background. It was so expressive up front and then flat on the back. So I think changing the background a little bit or making it a little bit more dynamic would have helped a lot with the scenes. But other than that was a strong entry and enjoyed it.
Yeah, as a guy who has a lot of puppets in his life, with Joel on this one, that I appreciated the going for it and that tactile feel of puppets, but once you got like real human teeth and mouth and eyes, it starts to really creep me out, and not in a good way, just to the point where I was getting distracted by it more than anything. But there are some really great moments, like when there's a shot, and this is a really simple shot where he grabs the shovel, like it's just a close up of that moment. Like I was completely convinced that might as well have been a real puppet, like doing that action. So for me, the style of the puppets themselves, like I want to feel like they're real puppets, but the crossbreed with the human, elements of them was throwing me off.
If you like reality show competitions, you're going to love this next one. Please enjoy The Last Rose by Scott Lighthizer.
Last week on The Last Rose.
Oh. Has anyone seen my I said boots, not Trisha is such an attention seeker. Everyone knows I have bigger boots.
Tonight's challenge, the Springfield Goose Trap.
My mother never let me ride the Springfield Goose Trap when I was younger, so this is a really big moment for me. Help me! Help! I'd like to dedicate this eulogy to Jeremy, who is looking very hot today.
Her speech really spoke to me, like she spoke directly to me. That was very sexy of her.
Why is he like this? I just want to find real love on national TV.
I wanted to like it, I guess, because I was hoping it was going to get crazier and crazier, but it was still kind of grounded. And when it's grounded, it never is better than how crazy like reality TV really is. Like, it's hard to fake good reality TV. And I just feel like the real thing is still more outrageous and crazy and funnier than manufacturing it. And so it just kind of got lost on me. Like, it just didn't work for me at all.
And this one I agree in that, like, I think it's a strong concept, like in terms of doing a next on the Bachelor or Last Rose ceremony, because they do get so out of control. I love the Springfield Goose Trap. I thought that was just so random and funny, and that was like a known thing, and my parents didn't let me write it growing up. But some of the jokes, like, my boots are bigger than hers, it just wasn't really landing, and the comedy and the humor didn't progress. It did more outlandish as it went along. It plateaued after the Springfield Goose Trap for me.
I watch a lot of reality TV, and I think this artist nailed the style. I think the problem is I was so thinking, wow, this is such a great reenactment of the style, that it kind of overshadowed the actual jokes and I think the content within it. So I think they did a great job recreating what it should look like. Just maybe didn't focus enough on the content itself.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I watch just enough reality TV. And then I've seen a bunch of people try to kind of pull these parodies off. And I think they do a good job of that. I was really just fascinated by the tone of this thing, because there is it's a reality show, but we know it's scripted, and some of the actual reality shows sometimes feel a little bit scripted, but they're reality. This, knowing it was scripted, it went to this reality soap opera place too, because I kind of was like, oh, it feels like a soap opera, almost as much as it felt like a reality show. And I just found that to be a really interesting tone. And to me, that actually felt like something I haven't seen that much of before. And this is one of the things where I'm like, oh, this is just something that's kind of happening because of AI, more so than anything. So I found that fascinating, that it really, truly felt like a soap opera reality show to me.
I really appreciate just conceptually taking on something as commonly known as The Bachelor or any of these other shows, like doing a spoof or parody of that genre worked really well for the look of the piece. I also felt like it needed a bigger hook or a bigger twist. Once you got into it, what was it called? The Springfield Chicken, or what was that thing called? No, the Goose Trap. Yeah. Like that was great. Like, if it would have been like, oh, this feels like a setup for a traditional Bachelor, but it's actually more like Squid Games, something where it's actually a fight to the death, or just like something that was a hook that went to a place that I didn't see coming. It just left me wanting more from it because it was a strong setup.
Next up, we're taking a trip to Newport, Wales with this really awesome submission called The Newport Pyramid by Jonathan Brooks.
Have you always dreamt of experiencing the enduring spirit of the Middle East or Egypt but can't afford it? Then visit Newport's exciting new dining cum holiday experience at the Newport Pyramid. Newport Pyramid. Newport Pyramid. I hope you like triangles, because even the bed is a triangle. Newport Pyramid. Newport Pyramid. A purpose-built 18-bedroom restaurant and Egyptian-themed restaurants in the heart of Newport's financial district. Let our car park, specially lit by lights, guide you in, offering facilities to rival all of Cardiff. Sunbeds, 2 bars, car park, squash and tennis. Join friends in the hieroglyphics room. Different meals, dates, thin bread, hummus. Newport Pyramid. Newport Pyramid. Lager and decorations. Our staff wear authentic Egypt clothes. Newport Pyramid. Newport Pyramid. The world of the Ramesses. We promise you'll never see nothing like it before. Newport Pyramid. 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 Ancient Egypt in Wales is the choice for your next holiday.
This is one that the first time I watched it, it was okay. The second time, better. And it just got better and better for me. And I don't know why that is. It was self-aware. I love absurdity. Everyone would get the point a little bit sooner. So I think it should have been a little bit shorter. But for me, I really like this one.
Yeah, I'll just say this wins a bit on just being a really strong idea. They executed well with the shots. I found it funny. I hope you like triangles. I thought it was just like a great line in there. I want a little more of that. My biggest knock is there is actually a Long Beach pyramid out here in the LA area. So I was like, well, this is not not that crazy.
I thought it was a great idea. I love triangles. Those our car park. I love how they kept mentioning the car park and let our lights like guide you in, like the logger, the decorations, just like saying the obvious of like what was happening on screen. I thought was really hilarious. And then ancient Egypt and Wales, like the last line for me, like was just really, really solid, and just thought it was really outlandish and wild. And yeah, it's true. There is a triangle in Long Beach, so it's not an outlandish idea, but there's something about it being in Wales, that juxtaposition I thought was really funny and very successful and original.
Really appreciated the absurdity here throughout the whole thing. I'm just going to go ahead and also say, I hope you like triangles is another t-shirt that's got to get made somehow. But I was thinking Newport Beach just because we're here in California. And I was like, oh, Newport, Wales is a thing? I had to look it up and I was like, okay, I'm going to put that on a bucket list.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because that was like the first thing was like Newport. I was like, okay, this isn't Newport Beach. I just felt like, to me, I saw where this was going. It just felt like it was going on a little too long for me. Because I know a lot of people that would love these kind of things too. Like Vegas, there are areas of Vegas that is just like this. So there was a point of like, for me, I hate to say it, like maybe I was being too sensitive because I was like, okay, are we laughing with them or are we laughing at them? And then it started, like, I wasn't sure because it was almost like making fun of a class of people that like to do these kind of things. But it is a reality. Like there are plenty of places like this in the world. And so then that's where it was like, I just kind of wasn't sure how I felt about it by the end. Like I liked it, but I was at the same time, I was like, I don't know.
And our final project is called Triolo by Attila Barros.
Kom hier, Schmetterling. Land auf meine Knospe.
I love this one. This could have been a scene out of like 10 shows that I worked on pretty easily. I actually just wanted more. I wanted to see what someone who came up with this would continue this on. Are we going on with like that final old version of the person? And like, I actually just wanted to know more.
Definitely, I feel like this one deserved like honorable mention at least, if anything, just because I was just like, what is going on? And I just was like, it was just fun. It was just like, just go for the ride and just see how crazy this thing is going to be. This is like Adult Swim, Walter.
I totally understand if this type of humor isn't for everyone, but it is 100% for me. And I loved it. It's so absurd. And I was impressed even just the animation itself. I think the artist did a really crisp job on a lot of the shots. Be interested to see a breakdown sometime of how this artist did it. It's definitely one of the most memorable for me. And I'm not going to look at butterflies, ogres, pulls the same again.
Yeah, this definitely looks like something you would see on TV. And I feel like the artist accomplished what they set out to do, like exactly by creating like this zany world and character and having no idea where it's going next and just like really being out there and imaginative. So I think that definitely succeeded on what they were going for.
Also really enjoyed this. Like it's, just so absurd and just completely owns it and goes for it and feels, very like it belongs on Adult Swim kind of thing. So like Walter, I wanted to see where it was going to go or continue to go. I'm not even sure I understand what happened at the ending. I don't think it really matters. So and there was just like really great moments within the editing, love the use of just music.
Okay, now that we've seen all of the submissions, it's time to vote on our favorites. The voting will take place in 3 rounds: third place, second place, and first place. The projects will get 1 point for a third place vote, 2 points for second, and 3 points for first. In the event of a tie, Joel will be a tiebreaker. So let's hear the third place votes from our judges.
So my third place vote is the greatest trick in the world. I really liked the Muppet style. I thought it was very funny, and I appreciated the story that came along with it.
The Last Rose was my pick for third, and it really is because I don't even know how intentional it was, but I think they're on the verge of cracking something in terms of something feeling soap opera and reality at the same time. And so I just found that experience to be interesting. I don't think they got all the way there, but I thought there was potential at something new.
My third place vote was Spinners, just because it was a very simple concept, miscommunication in space, and I just love the deadpan delivery and the humor that the Gen AI actors were able to bring to it.
My third was Goatsbeard Fluffy. I just like the dynamic. It had 3 characters. I just like the comedic dynamic between all 3 of them. And I thought it was well executed too. Like I wasn't distracted by any of the AI, just kind of got into the whole scene.
My third place, I had Triolo. No, I'm saying that wrong, but I just loved the absurdity. I laughed, I cried, I was confused. Great job.
And that means at the end of our third place round, we have a 5-way tie between Goatsbeard Fluffy, the greatest trick in the world, The Last Rose, Spinners, and Triolo. But that brings us to our second place round. Remember, the votes in this round are worth 2 points each. Let's hear what our judges think.
For my second place, I'm going to award it to the Newport Pyramid. I feel like it resonates with a lot of people. I think everyone in their mind thinks of a second, third casino that they've been to before. And I love that. So that's my second place pick.
I'm really struggling with my 1 and 2 because they're for completely different reasons. But I'm going to stick to what I originally wrote down. So Triolo, you probably should be first, but you are my second pick. And I just think you're fantastic.
My number 2 is also Newport Pyramid. Ancient Egypt and Wales just killed me. I thought it was really inventive. I thought the more that I watched it, like the dialogue and all the little cells in the commercial just keep getting funnier and funnier, and thought they did a great job.
My number 2, I liked Oregon Trail influencers. I thought it just, had the comedy, and from beginning to end, just kind of enjoyed the whole piece.
Yeah, my second place was also Oregon Trail influencers. I know it's almost like a genre at this point within AI filmmaking, but had solid jokes, and Snow Tastes Like Hope is going to make me laugh for at least another 20 minutes.
So after the second place round, it's still anybody's game. We have Newport Pyramid and Oregon Trail in first place with 4 points, Triolo with 3 points in second place, and then we have a 4-way tie for third place between Goatsbeard Fluffy, The Greatest Trick in the World, The Last Rose, and Spinners. But that brings us to our first place round. All of the votes in this round are worth 3 points each. Let's hear which films our judges selected as their favorites.
For my first place, I'm going to award it to Triolo. It's just so absurd. It's funny, it's memorable, and I think the artist just did a really good job with the animation itself, and totally up my alley with that absurd style. So congratulations. For me, that gets my vote.
And my first place goes to The Greatest Trick. It just left me most satisfied story-wise, and visually and pacing-wise. I know there's some sticklers out here who didn't like the teeth, but I loved it.
My first place goes to Yeehaw. I don't know if it was because it was the first one I saw, but it was just very, very simple but believable. I felt like what I was watching was real. I was engaging with the real actor. He was delivering like a great Southern accent, and I just thought it was really funny. The street racing and the "let's go" killed me. I definitely laughed out loud in that one, so I got to give it to it.
Number 1 was Yeehaw PD for all the same reasons. I just kind of got sucked into it. Again, no visuals to distract me by anything, and I love the jokes and the genre, and I thought it was well executed. Really funny.
My number 1 also Yeehaw PD. I thought the execution was fantastic. I was in from the beginning. There was a lot of great jokes, and I thought the performance was really solid throughout. So that was tops for me.
In sixth place, we have a 3-way tie between Goatsbeard Fluffy by Kevin Berthazon, The Last Rose recap by Scott Lighthizer, and Spinners by Simon Freeberg. All of these projects received 1 point. For third place, we have a three-way tie between Oregon Trail Influencers by Sam Juice, The Newport Pyramid by Jonathan Brooks, and The Greatest Trick in the World by Hal Lotmo and Joseph Griffiths. And like we said at the beginning of the video, the tie-breaking vote will go to Joel. Joel, which project is your third place winner?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, Oregon Trail Influencers was my number 2, so I would go with that.
Okay, so that means Oregon Trail Influencers wins our third place prize. Congratulations, Sam. You have won $1,000 cash, free enrollment in a Curious Refuge course of your choice, an AI filmmaking sweatshirt, and most importantly, a sticker of a possum playing a banjo. So that means in second place, we have Triolo by Attila Barros with 6 points. Attila has won $2,000 enrollment in a Curious Refuge course, an AI filmmaking sweatshirt, and 42 flying chicken slingshots. And that means in first place, we have Yeehaw PD by Nate DS with 9 points. Nate has won $6,000 in cash, free enrollment in a Curious Refuge course, an AI filmmaking sweatshirt, and a macaroni and cheese scented candle. Congratulations, Nate. You knocked it out of the park. We'd like to thank everyone for submitting their projects into this competition. The team at Curious Refuge is going to create a montage video with some of our favorite submissions from this competition, so be on the lookout for that next week. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to the judges of this competition, along with Epidemic Sound for sponsoring the prize. If you need royalty-free music for your next project, I highly recommend going to Epidemic Sound and browsing their awesome collection of royalty-free music. Thanks again for taking part in this incredible competition. Be on the lookout for our AI horror film competition in the next few weeks. Best of luck on all of your projects, and be sure to like and subscribe to be the first to know when a new competition drops.